Welcome to the What is Stoicism podcast.
While writing what's now known as Book 2 of his Meditations near the river Granua, the Stoic Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius was most likely out in military campaign, fighting the Marcomannic Wars. During this time of turbulence, Marcus, unable to study, as he had been committed to doing his whole life, was missing his library of books. Knowing he had no possibility of learning anything new, he chose to reflect on what he had already learned about his body, soul, and mind. Quote, "This thing that I am, whatever we are to call it, is flesh, spirit, and the command center. Forget your books, and don't let it upset you. That's not allowed. Instead, as one on the point of death, despise the flesh. It's just blood, bones, and a network of nerves, veins, and arteries. Then consider what spirit is. No more than air, and never constant, continually belched out and gulped back in again." End quote. It was a common practice of Marcus's to write in this way, describing things as they are, in their simplest forms. It was a way to remain objective, and not overvalue externals based only on their appearance. The time of this writing would prove to be toward the end of Marcus's life. In the continuation of this particular passage, we can see that a lifetime of learning had taught him to focus on his mental well-being above all else. Quote, "So that leaves the third ingredient, the command center. Look at it this way. You're elderly. Put an end to allowing its enslavement. Put an end to being tugged here and there like a puppet at the prompting of selfish impulses. Put an end to both complaining about your present fate and shrinking from the future." End quote. The same line of thinking can benefit us today. We all have our own command center. Our own thoughts are within our control. Knowing this, we can break free from the impulses and influences trying to send us in different directions. We can accept our present fate and do what is within our control to flourish in that situation, whatever it may be. With this attitude, we gain the courage to face the future in its unpredictable form. If Marcus Aurelius can do it during a war, with failing health, toward the end of his life, maybe we can too. One of the ways we can make use of our command center, indeed one of the most fundamental and important things Stoicism urges us to do, is to always put our initial impressions to the test. In doing so, we can reduce the risk of rushing to incorrect judgments about what things are, what events mean, and why people act the way they do. The consequences of incorrect judgments in such matters can, of course, get us into all sorts of trouble. Our ability to make better judgments is something Marcus Aurelius told himself to hold in high regard. Quote, "Revere your faculty of judgment, and it's this faculty that holds out the promise of freedom from hasty assent, of affinity with your fellow men, and of conformity with the will of the gods." End quote. Practical tip that can help us achieve this freedom from hasty assent is being okay with being a slow thinker. Being somewhat of a slow thinker myself, I used to think it was a weakness. But while it may come at the cost of more time and effort, the more deliberative approach has the advantage of allowing one to consider all angles of the matter at hand. Thus, conclusions aren't jumped to on the basis of impressions, and more objective judgments can be formed. It's an approach that Derek Sivers champions in his book Hell Yeah or No. Quote, "People say that your first reaction is the most honest, but I disagree. Your first reaction is usually outdated. Either it's an answer you came up with long ago and now use instead of thinking, or it's a knee-jerk emotional response to something in your past." End quote. When you're less impulsive and more deliberate like this, continues Sivers, it can be a little inconvenient for other people, but that's okay. You may even be demonstrating to them a better way. Quote, "Someone asks you a question. You don't need to answer. You can say, 'I don't know,' and take your time to answer after thinking. Things happen. Someone expects you to respond, but you can say, 'We'll see.' And maybe through example, you can show them that they can do the same." End quote. So today, whether you're asked a question or whether an instinctive impression forms about an event, try thinking a little more slowly. Revere and use your faculty of judgment. Achieve freedom from hasty assent. Control your command center.